Hello, New Hope. I was sitting just with the Lord, and I felt like He highlighted a verse this morning, and it's found in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 10. And the verse is, "So that through the church the manifold wisdom of God might now be made known to the rulers and authorities in the heavenly places." And I thought, that there's a few things that jumped out, and I'm not going to unpack all of it in this morning, but I just want to focus on one thing this morning. I want to focus on that word, the church, first, and then tomorrow or the day after we might talk about the manifold wisdom, because there's a message in the manifold wisdom being made known to rulers and authorities. But I want to just talk to you about that word, the church. That word, the church, is the word ecclesia, and many of us know this, but I wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page. But that word ecclesia is broken up into two words. It's made out of the word ek, which means called or out from and to. So that word ek, out from and to. And then kaleo, which means to call. So basically, the word church in this verse that Paul is talking about is a people called out from the world and to God. Not just called out from, but and to God. Paul is not simply referring to some building somewhere, or a group of buildings, or even the people who meet in buildings. Paul is being so much more specific. He is declaring that the true church is a people, but not just any people who may declare, I go to New Hope, or I go to this other name of a church, or a denomination. But Paul is declaring a people who is called out from the world and is called to God. The times that we're in are unprecedented times. We know this. Never before in the history of the modern world has the whole earth come to a standstill. And I believe in the middle of this global pandemic, God is calling to His true church. He's calling to His people, calling us out from the world and to Himself. And it's regardless of our past. It has nothing to do with our past. There's many of us here, we've got colored pasts. I have my own colored past. It's not about your upbringing. It's not about, where you were raised or how you were raised or under what circumstances you were raised. God's bigger than that. He's calling us out from that. It's not about our intelligence or lack of intelligence or your social standing. And He's actually asking, will you let go of these things to be called to Him? He's going, I died for all of you. I died for all of my creation. So it's not about what's happened to you. It's not about the circumstances that you've been in. He's saying, I'm calling you out from those things. And the question is, do you hear His call? It's a call to Himself. He wants to speak to you. He has something to say to you in this hour. Are you listening for His call? His call to you. Are you willing to let go of what He may ask for the better that He has for you? When He calls us, there's sometimes a letting go. Often, there always is a letting go. And He's saying, will you trust me for the better that I have for you? Because He always has better for us. Now, I didn't say easy. I said better. The best. The best, not just for you. And I want you to understand this. The best is not just for you, but it's for the church, a people, a family. It's bigger than you. A people together, you see, because when He calls us out, He doesn't call us out just to say, I want to bless you as an individual. He's saying, I want to call you out into a family, into a people that's called my church. We're better together. I know the world is using that slogan now for their own purposes. But God is truly saying, I'm calling you out to be better together. And so the question becomes, will you hear him and will you let go? Because he has a manifold wisdom that he's going to put into place through his church to make known to the rulers and authorities of this world his great name. And he's calling you. Will you say yes? And will you listen for what he wants to shake you free from? Because he's got something so much better. God bless.